when she was about 20 years old. She had a puppy that she loved, and she one day walked in on Hef engaging in some sexual activity with that puppy. Post Posse, pull up, because I have to tell you about this story I worked on. It's all based on the new A&E docu-series, Secrets of Playboy. I had the honor of speaking with Hef's former girlfriend, Sondra Theodore, as well as the docu-series director, Alexandra Dean, about the untold stories of Playboy and Hefner. I had no idea about the shocking and just damning revelations that this series would bring to the surface. Speaking to Miss Theodore, she exposed to me one of the most heinous claims to come out of the series as far as the dog claim is concerned. What was that experience like for you when you walked in and you witnessed that?
Well, I was shocked. I mean, I said, "What are you doing?" And he kind of made light of it, like it was funny. He turned it around to where it was like just a one-time thing, and he was just goofing off. I never left my dog alone with him again.
She even mentioned that he said, well, you know, dogs need love too, or something to that effect. She was very shaken by that experience, and even talking to me about it, she was very uncomfortable reliving that moment. I could just tell she tensed up and her voice began to crack. She just was not prepared at all, mentally or emotionally, to deal with the reality that this person was very much so into bestiality and a lot of other depraved and unsightly sexual things. Would you consider him at all a predator, and if so, why?
Looking back, oh yes, he was a predator because he took what he wanted without any thought to the effects of the person he was taking it from.
Hugh Hefner, I've only known him really as just kind of like this big caricature, this kind of suave, swaggy grandpa who just spent his life, you know, having sex with beautiful women and promoting sexuality and femininity. So I really never had any negative thoughts about him. I never needed to. And that's really a point that they make in this series. You know, you wonder why you never hear about any of these things all throughout the decades and decades and decades of women he's kind of damaged, and it's because he'd set up so many barriers to make sure that he was always protected. According to the women in the documentary, he had so many cameras in and around his house, in his bedroom, in bathrooms, anywhere that there was carpet, there was a camera. One of the things that gave me chills when talking to Sondra was the fact she knew exactly how Hugh Hefner would react if he was alive, and heard her and the countless other men and women in this series speak out about some of the things that they claim he did. And I said, well, you know his voice, you know his way. If he were to hear you say this, how would he react? What would he say to you? And she said, oh, he'd call me bitter. And not only that, but he'd say, I'm rewriting history. And then this gave me chills.
He would say I was just rewriting history because that's what he says about everybody that says anything bad about them. Yeah, I am rewriting history, huh? I'm writing it.
I said, girl, you better go ahead, Miss Sondra. She really impressed me. And that was just a moment of so much power. You know, her, again, being so timid in the interview, for her to end it with that and to leave me with the notion and the knowledge that she's overcome the fear of being held by the chains that once bound her. It was very powerful, and I was so pleased to have shared that moment with her.